Men are classified into three categories. Either you're an alpha, a beta, or a sigma. A sigma is the quiet version of an alpha male. A typical example of a sigma male is Thomas Shelby in the Peaky Blinders TV series. If you've watched that TV series, then you must know Thomas Shelby. That is a typical example of a sigma male. Now in this video, I'm talking about those 10 signs, those 10 undeniable signs that you are a sigma male. The very first sign that you're a sigma male is you enjoy being alone. If you're a guy who enjoys spending your own time by yourself, you just love being alone, you rather stay in your room, in your personal space, than go to parties or go to hangouts or go to public places, then you're a sigma. The next sign of a sigma is they tend to speak very little. Any guy who you see who speaks very little, he's either a beta or a sigma. But if that guy is also confident, he's confident but he speaks very little, then he's a sigma. Sigmas don't like too much attention. And one of the easiest ways to generate attention to yourself is by speaking too much. Alphas love attention. This is why they're always speaking, they're always shouting, they're always commanding people, ordering people around. But sigmas don't talk too much. They rather prefer to show their capacities by their action and not by their words. The third sign is sigmas are rebellious and they don't conform to societal norms. Sigmas don't like doing things the normal way people do it. They always prefer to do things their own way because sigmas have this internal confidence about them. They believe that they are smarter than most people. They believe that they know more than most people, and they always feel that their own ways are better than the normal ways of doing things. So sigmas always have this independent mindset and they love doing things their own way. The next sign is sigmas always are mysterious and they are very private. One of the typical signs that someone is a sigma or a man is a sigma is you can never know or predict anything about them. They're always quiet, they're always private, and they're always mysterious. They are unpredictable. Alpha males like to show themselves. You can easily predict an alpha male because he's always out there. He's always seeking for the fame, the attention, and all whatnot. But sigmas prefer to have a quiet, private, mysterious life. You can never know anything about them. You can never know what is going on in their lives, which makes it very difficult to predict sigmas. The next sign is sigmas are very confident. That's a sigma is quiet or that a sigma doesn't like too much attention doesn't mean that they are not confident. They are quiet, but they are very bold and confident. And when necessary, they are very outspoken. And when a sigma is talking, you will know that this guy is not a guy to mess with because he has a strong internal confidence, which he portrays only when necessary. Unlike an alpha, he's always trying to dominate people even when it's not necessary. The next sign of a sigma is they are good listeners because they observe more. A typical sigma male doesn't talk too much, so he spends more of his time observing his environment, observing people, and they always make good advisors because they have a high level of natural intelligence and they tend to read and study situations and study people around them. So they make good advisors and they make good listeners, which is why most women always prefer the sigmas to the alphas because the alphas are always talking, are always wanting you to be the one listening, whereas sigmas always want to talk so that they can listen to you, which makes them very, very smart and very, very dangerous too because a sigma will study you, whereas you don't know anything about it. The next sign is sigmas always put themselves and their interests first. The truth is, sigmas most times don't give a damn about anybody. For them, it's always about them. Let them be able to achieve their own goals first and foremost before they start thinking about others. Most sigmas are always ambitious, unlike the alphas who are visibly ambitious. No, sigmas are kind of quietly ambitious. They have their goals, they plan themselves very well, and they always pursue their goals and ambition with extreme focus. And this is why it's always difficult to win a sigma because they are focused, they don't have any distractions, and you can't even predict them because they don't talk too much. They always put their own interest first and foremost. So this is one of the things you must know if you are dealing with a Sigma. A Sigma wouldn't care too much about you because he's too focused on his goals and on his ambition. The next sign of a Sigma is Sigmas always love their personal space. Even if a Sigma is married and has children in his own house, he will have a corner of his house which only him uses or enters. A Sigma will always have a small space in his house where he plays video games, where he reads his books, where he stays to, just relax without anyone disturbing him. Even if he has a family, he will always have his own personal space in that his family house. Sigmas also believe that companionship slows them down. Majority of the time, Sigmas are always skeptical about committing to a woman because they believe that having a woman in their life will make their life slower and slow down the time it will take them to accomplish their goals. So they prefer to be alone, they prefer to be single, unless they have achieved a certain level of stability in their lives, then they can go into companionship or into marriage or into dating a woman. But most times, Sigmas prefer to be alone, to stay alone, and not have a woman. The next sign is Sigmas love being invisible. They basically don't want anybody to know anything about them. They don't want any unnecessary attention, and they don't even want people to have access to them. And they just love their time and their space.